Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulihi. Amma ba'du. I greet the Mali students, the guests, listeners. Assalamu alaikum wa Ramadan Mubarak. We're continuing with our morning Ramadan sessions, and this is the seventh session or the eighth session, and we're going to be looking at chapter 221. We looked at yesterday, combining it with chapter 222, and we're going over a reflection. The reflection, al-ma'ani, the science of meanings, ilm al-ma'ani, which is one of the branches of Balagha. There are three major branches of Balagha: rhetorical eloquence, ilm al-ma'ani, the science of meaning, ilm al-bayan, the science of clarity through comparison, I would say. And ilm al-badi' is the science of embellishment, embellishing the language, the beautifying. These three sciences will really bring out an appreciation, a higher appreciation for the reading of the Quran from its Arabic text. And you will begin to realize why it is said that it is unmatched by any other written composition on earth. This Quran. So we start with the reflection, and the reflection is going to, what I'm doing in this reflection is part of the first 30th of the reflection and commentary I will be publishing soon. And I have to reiterate that it does not replace a translation. It's not the same as a translation. It's more extended. It gives the meaning. I'm trying to portray the meaning of the Quran, but through reflection, not through word-to-word translation, not trying to match English with Arabic. It's very difficult, perhaps impossible to do with the Quran. You have to learn to read it in Arabic for yourself. Learn this language for yourself. It should be incumbent that all teachers, leaders of this religion, al-Islam, should learn Quranic Arabic. It was the colonizers, the slave owners, that influenced the Muslim world, Muslims all over the world, not to read the Quran with comprehension, that you will get your moral direction, your moral fortitude, your moral life would be based upon the Quran. Your human life would be based upon the Quran. They decided that they're going to determine what's moral or immoral, what's right or what's wrong. They're going to determine the Furqan. You get the Furqan from them, the ability to differentiate. And today, 2026, we still follow the scheme. So we have to break that scheme now. Go back to studying the Quran from the Arabic text. Yes. So in the reflection, one thing that I may be taking away, that I am taking away, is the brevity of speech. So I know and I'm admitting that the English reflection does not equal the Arabic text. You're gonna lose something. It's like going through a filter. The Arabic has to go through a filter to get to the English side. Something's going to get caught in the filter. And one thing is going to get caught when you're dealing with reflection like this is brevity. The brevity and the really the comprehensiveness, the power of the speech. Saying a lot with a few words. That's going to be missing. However, the reader who reads this in English will, I hope, inshallah, come to appreciate the reading and enjoy the reading. But it's not the Quran proper, and it's not a rival. It's not a rival to the Quran. So in this, let's read, and then we'll take a look at the reflection. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya ayyuha an-nasu. O mankind. We went over yesterday. U'budu. U'budu rabbakum. Worship your guardian evolver. Alladhi khalaqakum. Who created you. Alladhi who khalaqakum created you. Your Lord. Your Lord who created you. وَالَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ and those before you. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ perhaps you will attain taqwa, consciousness. الَّذِي who جَعَلَ لَكُمْ الْأَرْضَ فِرَاشًا phrase. جَعَلَ لَكُمْ الْأَرْضَ فِرَاشًا He made for you the earth, firashan, as a bed, firashan. وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً and the sky like a structured building, a roof. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً and he sends down from the sky water. There's a leak in the roof. فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنَ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا and he extracts by it of fruits, vegetation, so forth, rizqan as provisions. He brings out, extracts, brings out from the earth fruits and vegetation. We'll put lakum for you. فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا Therefore, do not make rivals for Allah, to Allah. Now, some of this, as you're reading, you may be able to see what we have discussed, how the prepositional phrase is couched between the verb and the object of the verb to bring about exclusivity. وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, and you know. That's basic. That's the straightforward, basic, perhaps one word-to-word translation. Now, in your readings, you can pause at every phrase. I'm calling them phrases. They could be phrases, clauses. You pause at every phrase, jumla. At every phrase, you can pause. In the beginning, I would suggest that you pause so that you can reflect. You want to read and reflect. الذي جعل لكم الأرض فراشا. Pause. وَالسَّمَاءَ بِنَاءً. Pause and reflect. Reflect, go back. It's like you're making wudu. You're making wudu. You start from the back, you come to the front. Pause, go back. Read, go back. Come forward again. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. Go to the back. Pause. Go back. Reflect on what you just said in this phrase. Go forward again. فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ ثَمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا. Go back. Pause. Go back. Reflect. فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. Pause. Go back. Reflect. وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Pause. Reflect. Go back. This is a good way to read. Don't worry about tajweed rules, pause, continue, slow down, go through it. Don't worry about that right now. You're reading for comprehension. You're reading for reflection and comprehension. The beauty will come out. It's built in. The more comfortable you get with reading, the more the rhythm will come out. You will begin to feel the rhythm. As you're feeling the rhythm, and comprehending, that's where the emotions come in, the feeling come in. You start feeling it. You're reading, you're seeing verbs in their forms. You're seeing form 2, you see it strong. Form 4, you see causation. 10, seeking. 8, it's internal. You're going inward. You're going inward, outward, strong, soft. You're going passively. So it's a script. As you are reading the script, they call it a reading. You come in for the reading. As you're reading the script, the script, you want to characterize it, internalize it, and characterize it. This character is called the Quran. You're going to play the role of the Quran. You're going to be the character of the Quran. That's your character. Now read the script and feel it. We want you to feel it and express it with feeling and beauty and joy. It has to come with comprehension, not with imitating someone else's feelings, pretending that you feel it too. Feel it for yourself. Have those wow moments for yourself. This is what I advocate in the beginning. Some want many. The colonizer scheme is learn to recite, and just from hearing the rhythm, you get a certain feeling. It's like smiling. You see someone smiling, and they're so joyful, and they're just smiling with great joy. And you ask, why are you smiling? I don't know. It's just beautiful. And that's what we have. You have a TV with sound and no picture. The reflection, attention, attention, everyone. It is essential to approach with the most profound humility the one who brought you into existence without any prior model to follow. I have to do a little bit with this. The one who brought you into existence did not follow any previous model. He created you and those who came before you. This you is all of you, everyone. Perhaps expecting that you would protect and preserve your soul from harm by being regardful of your guardian evolver in your actions. He is the one, الذي. Now let's go back and see how I did this. It starts out easy in the beginning verses. Then it may get a little more difficult to match. I tried to make it easy to start out, kind of get your attention. Grab you, get your attention. And then as you go, the reflection may become a not so much word to word as I go. Intentionally, I'm doing this to get your attention first. So he is the one, الذي, who has provided you with the earth as a foundation that meets all your needs for livelihood. جعل لكم الأرض فراشا فراشا, and the sky, and I'm being literal, we'll see maybe a difference in the commentary, as a structured roof that brings down rain. Maybe I should put leaking with rain. A structured roof leaking with rain. That would make it a little more poetic. That leaks with rain, yielding fruits. Let's see, where am I at here? But Sama'i bina'an, yes. And that's ma'an. وأنزل من السماء ماء. Yielding fruits, vegetation, and grains as provisions. فأخرج به من الثمرات رزقا. Provisions for this world and the next. Therefore, do not make for yourself those who share his essence, while you are known to make scientific ta'lamun, observations and investigations. Now we'll continue with verse 22. Looking at environment and provision. Environment and provisions. So, الذي جعل لكم الأرض فراشا والسماء بناء. Then we go on. الذي جعل لكم الأرض. Yes, we're going to start here, analyzing here. So, this is a sifa thaniya. This is a second description. A second description that belongs to Rabbakum from verse 21. Rabbakum. Let's take a look. Let me make sure I got my bearings here. Yes, it's in 21. Rabbakum. So we're going back. We're linking 22 and 21. So here is Rabbakum. So الذي جعل لكم الأرض. So here is the first الذي who خلقكم والذين من قبلكم. Now we have the second الذي. So these are descriptions. These are descriptions. So these are descriptions of Rabbakum. So it goes back to Rabbakum. This الذي goes back to Rabbakum. Which he is saying here, in parallel to الذي خلقكم. That's the first one, الذي خلقكم in 21, and who created you, pointing to sababin. Sababin akhara, another reason, another cause for his right, for his exclusive right to be worshipped. Yes. Now you may notice how, though we had the theme of interfaith relations first, these set of verses will come before those, and you can see how in this built-in argument, how it all come to the conclusion of a common word of the one who created you, the one who created you, who bring you into existence without there being a previous model or pattern. We all can come to, let's all come to this common word, Allah. And this is another reason that he has the right, the one who creating you, he has the right to be worshipped alone, exclusively. So this deity is Allah that we're speaking of. Let us come to those common terms. It's not going to take you away from your traditions of Christianity. It's not going to take you away from your traditions of Judaism or any other religious label that you may carry. This is representing, this Quran is addressing everyone. Allah is addressing everyone, not just the Muslim. He's addressing an-nas, everyone. The discourse here transitions from blessings related to human existence, ni'amin muta'allikatin bidhati al-insaniyya, blessings. Blessings that's associated with, connected to the existence, the being, the being of humanity, human existence, vanity. That's transitioning from that in this verse to ni'amin, blessings, that's attached to al-alami al-khariji, the extracted world, external world, al-alami. And you see ilm in this. You see ain lamim in this, in terms of extracting from the external world physical provisions and mental and spiritual provisions in terms of the sciences. So we gather the sciences from the extracted world, the external world, the world that has come out of the same nature that man himself is extracted out of, manifested out of. Completing the picture of Rububiyyah. Completing the picture, looking at this, as one who brought you into existence and now is nourishing you to the condition, to the state of maturity. And in that mature state, man wants to know his Lord. Encompassing both anfus, yourself, where afaq, horizons, the sky, the horizons. The horizons, physically speaking, pardon me, and spiritually speaking, spiritual horizons. So let's go over the key phrases here. Ja'ala lakumul arda firashan. This is a tashbihun balig. This is tashbihun balig. This is an eloquent, it's a metaphor, and it is balig. So in the balig, you have the subject is arada, the object is firashan, but there is no tool added to tashbih. There is no tool or particle of tashbih. The earth is like a firash. The earth is like a firash. It's balig. There is no tool. And there is no shared attribute of the bed and the earth. So if we take this, the earth, a bed. The earth is like a bed. So there's no tool, and then there is no wedge. Shabbat. There's no, I like to refer to it, there's no shared attribute mentioned. What makes the earth like a bed? The earth is like, he's saying, he's putting here, in this tashbih. The earth is like a firash. And then he's going to give the wedge one, the wedge Hushabah. In its suitability for stability and repose. It stands in the middle between a painful rock, hard. It's not too hard. And sinking mud. It's not too soft. Too much water, too soft. The earth, when you lay on the earth, it's not too hard and it's not too soft. Let me digress for a moment. And in the earth, there is, the earth has in it an electrical charge, I'm going to say. We call it, in electricity, you call it ground. Yes. And in the sky, there is a electrical charge. Perhaps we could say they have the positive and you have the negative. And when there's an imbalance between the sky and the earth, we get lightning to bring about the balance. So the earth, because it's spinning, the earth is spinning like a generator. It's spinning. I'm trying to say, in the earth you have this electricity due to its spinning that connects with the electrical components that's in the body. We have electricity in our body. There's electricity in the earth. So when you're laying on the earth, you'll get that feeling. Some people will express this feeling that they get from laying on the earth. Man tries to imitate that by making these beds now that vibrates. But when you lay on the earth, there is a vibration between the body and the earth. I'm reflecting. Now this is a premise. I'm giving enough. I'm taking a little knowledge of electricity, a little knowledge about the body, that this could become a science. This idea of a science. So you have that feeling. Now man wants to imitate that. He wants to put some electrical charges in the mattress, and you turn it on, and you're supposed to get that same feeling and results as laying on the earth. But it's imitating. You may not really get it. So it's showing this in a very eloquent way in the Quran. It's a firash, but there's more to it than just the repose. There's more to it. We're going to see. So that's an idea of firash, and all of your livelihood is in the bed. You know, maybe that's where they get people. They hide money under the mattress. Put your money under the mattress. It's a ritual to put money under the mattress. Your provisions. That's the medium for all provisions, both material and spiritual. It's in this firash, in this bed. But you don't want to, it's not made for sleeping only. lakum. So ja'ala lakum, lakum indicates التسخير والانتفاع الخاصة. Special خاصة, special خاصة. Subjugation and benefit. Subjugation, تسخير and benefit. الانتفاع. Making human welfare central to the depiction of the cosmic order. So you're getting the Wajhu Tashbih, making human welfare central to the depiction of the cosmic order. There's a relationship between the two. Then what's Sama'an Bina'an? Now remember, you have to have a takeaway. Remember what's going to be your takeaway. What did you learn today? So the sky Bina'an. The sky we're going to see is also a tashbih. He's saying here, the tashbih of as a bina'an. So the sky is like a bina'an. It's like a building. Beautiful, beautiful building though. Evokes a protective, overarching structure. Now, also, we could say the sky is not the material sky like the earth, but it's the sky of man's spirituality. The sky of man's spirituality, not so much the spiritual sky. To go and look in the physical sky, I mean, that's the sky, and it's decorated with the stars and what have you. The sun, the moon, and the stars is decorated. Also, there's the sky in your head, of your head. So Muhammad the Prophet, just a note to take, since this is Ramadan. He's the prophet. Perhaps we cannot imagine what a prophet is. A messenger of Allah. His audience don't already know. His audience, he has his knowledge. This knowledge of the Quran is so high that it's taking years and years to unpack what's all in this book. So they're a good model of obedience and support and what have you. But in terms of what exists in the book, we're still unpacking years later. And as we unpack, it transcends. As soon as we unpack one thing, we think we have it, it transcends. There's more to be had. There's more. We continue to go. So he's speaking in metaphors. Muhammad the Prophet is speaking in metaphors. It's a ritual he's speaking. So when the sky is cloudy, confusion, when you have confusion in your sky, count 30. When there's confusion, count 30. Look at the Muslim world who try to hold the whole world on a soundbite. Look at the confusion. If there's confusion, count 30. And it would really cause you to get rid of the confusion. The confusion is in your head. Not outside, it's in your head. And one of the states of confusion is that you can't count. Thought I would just throw that in there. Now let's be nagging. This be nagging. A be nagging evokes a protective, overarching structure. You know, the woman, her name is Binah. Binah. We know the sister Binah. The sky is a Binah. And we know the sister Layla. The sky is also a Layla. So they're twins, Binah and Layla. So if you have two girls and they're twins, you can name them Binah and Layla. Hope you get it. Suggesting intentionality, cohesion, and safeguarding. So we had the presentation about the sky, decorating the sky. So you want to decorate your sky. Beautiful. Decorate so beautiful you would call it Binah. So beautiful you call it Layla. Has all the nice at night you see Layla comes out at night. Now that's a song. That's a title to a song. You all know I get 10% now. I get 10% to this. The song, when the sky comes out and displays, it's beautiful. All its jewels, look like jewels. All of its beautiful jewels. It's Layla. It becomes Layla. Layla's coming out. Now, though you see all of this beauty, it's protective. It's guarding, safeguarding. You want to decorate your sky with the sciences. Alam, your world. That's your world. We in English, we talk like that. Your sky is your world. You want to decorate your world that it's protective. It's going to protect from the influences of the environment that you're in. It's safeguarding and protecting. And it's safeguarding and protecting your earth, if you understand. So your security guard, okay, Muslims, sit down, have a seat, relax when I say this. Your security, perhaps, for those that you having a problem with gender, is a woman. Her name is Binah. She's your security. That should wake you up. Safeguarding. Now let me bring you back. Safeguarding in your absence. And he sent down from the sky water, and thereby brought forth fruit as provisions for you. وَأَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً فَأَخْرَجَ بِهِ مِنْ الثَّمَرَاتِ رِزْقًا لَكُمْ. Let's look at these two phrases. So, let's see, the atfun bil fa'il. The atfun bil fa'il. And perhaps, not perhaps, but this fact. Here is the fact. أنزل من السماء ماء إن فأخرج إن فأخرج shows ترتيبا وتعقيبا. ترتيبا sequence وتعقيبا immediacy. Let me move it down so you can see it as I'm talking. So we have sequence, this fat, and we know we have sequence with the atfun. This is atfun, right? Atfun. Atfun shows sequence, connection, sequence. Atfun. And we know in a quick grammar lessons for the grammar students, you have fa, you have wa, you have thumma, and you have aw. These are four of the main atfuns. You read them quite often in the Quran. Atfun. And they have their functions. And there's a lot to it, so when we have lessons like this, we learn the functions. These are like one-stop lessons, but this is not the function of the fat all the time. So some of us, when we read things from Imam W. Dean Muhammad, and he gives us a lesson on a particle, some of us take that to be the function of that particle in every context. But it's not the function in every context. So we've seen the function of the fad once already in these presentations. So here is another function of the fad. But what the fad, what's across the board with the fad perhaps as an atfun, meaning that in the sequence, they all of it is sequence, atfun. There's sequence. In the sequence, there's immediacy. In the sequence, immediacy. Meaning that one thing happens, and in the sequence, the next thing happens right away. There's no, we call, in the grammatical language, no time element. There's no time element in between. One happens, the other happens right away. That's the fact. So it has immediacy in all of its functions. So here is sequence, and immediacy is all of its functions. Now, with where there's sequence, atfun, but in terms of the time element, it could be time in between, it could not be time in between, or it can even be done simultaneously when we use where, but based on the context will we know in terms of the sequence. With thumma, there's time element. One thing happens, and then within time, respectively speaking, in the context, the next things happen. It doesn't happen right away. It doesn't follow right away. So one thing happens with time, the next happens in the sequence. Where, we're not sure. It could be right away, it could be time, or it even could be simultaneous with the where. If you want to make it simultaneous, then we can put a noun in the accusative to be sure that it indicates simultaneous with the where. The fact, there's no time element. It's right away. Now, let's go on and see if he gives us more in terms of the function, this fact. So the fact for akhraja shows tartiban wa ta'qiban, sequence and immediacy. Rain leads to vegetation, which becomes rizqan, sustenance for you. So this first there's rain. Then akhraja for akhraja, then right away, respectively speaking, there's rizqan. There's rizqan even in the rain. And then the manifestation of that rizqan comes up out of the earth. So the Prophet, the President of peace be upon him, he says, even for the plant life, the rizqan for the plant life. So it can have life, a luxurious life. So one of the men asked him, can I put dung from the animals as fertilizer to help the trees grow. And the prophet told him no. Now, many of us will take that literally, and many of us still put dung on the plant life for food to get it to grow. But he could be speaking even to that person metaphorically, as he's speaking to him, saying that the plants are like people. The trees are like people. Don't put dung on people to get them to grow. Now, we can't say that like when we live on Martin Luther King Boulevard. Don't put such and such on the tree, on people. Don't throw dung on the people to get them to grow. No, Allah uses rain. In the rain, in the water, in the rain, there's sustenance. That's what I'm getting. And there's something in the rain that when it strikes the earth, it brings about provisions. There's provisions in the rain, and we see the manifestation of it. And that's how we are to educate and get people to grow. With revelation. Rain, revelation as rain. There's no dung in revelation. It's not dung. So he's emphasizing this fact with tartibin, with ta'kibin, right away. It comes right away. Rizkan lakum. Again, foregrounds. Tahsisa and ni'mati. Personalization of the blessing. Specification of the blessing. Tahsis, especially not an abstract process, but provision directly linked to human livelihood. And we can think of this in the physical sense and the spiritual sense. Yes, the spiritual provisions we get from revelation, rain as revelation, and also physical provisions that's linked to our physical livelihood. We spoke a little on this yesterday. The resources, all the great resources that are in the earth as provisions for our livelihood. Yes. And we know, we say this all the time, that the continent of Africa is one of the most fertile, one of the most fertile places on earth in terms of all the natural resources that's in the earth. And something happened. So I take a moment and address ourselves and our African brothers and sisters. Something happened in the life of the African people that they're having a problem. I'm trying to make it soft. Of going into the earth that they're residing on. It's like you're sleeping in the bed. But in that bed, the resources that are right under your feet, there's a problem to extract, to develop the resources that's in the earth on that continent. Perhaps your sky. There's no light bulb. There's no light. There's no stars. There's no sun. There's to allow you to go in the earth to extract from it the natural resources. Now, someone else notices and knows how to go in and get the resources. And in doing so, they will oppress the citizens of Africa in getting the resources and not sharing in the provisions that they're extracting from the earth, not finding a way to share justly. If right now, in many of the African countries, especially Sub-Saharan, the old Songhai Empire, Sub-Saharan, their what do you call it? National income, whatever it's called, is based upon charity. They receive, it's charity that's given to the West Africans, from the West Africa to the Congo, that except for perhaps they're bringing up Nigeria because of its oil, and South Africa. And those two places are built up more. But other places, the land has great resources, natural resources, that today, many of those countries, their income is based upon charity. They receive charity. They're the biggest charity receiving charity maybe in any other countries, theoretically speaking. If they learn to decorate their sky, the African man, and go into the earth and develop themselves from the natural resources, they will become overnight the most charitable of all countries in the world. Yes, the land, it belongs to Allah, and it's the most charitable, perhaps, without it being coming from the African people who have descendants of that land. Now, we have a relationship with them, that we were taken from that land as a resource, as human resources, to help develop the land in America. And some of the African tribes sold people into slavery. I do not believe, after taking a look, visiting Nigeria, visiting the castle, the dungeon. Some will say dungeon, some will say castle is too beautifying word, say dungeon. Where they would come is off the coast, where the ships would come and take the slaves. They go into the land, kidnapping. It began with kidnapping. Kidnapping, right? The story is told that they would kidnapping young people. You're not kidnapping old people. You're kidnapping young people on the beach. So they bring their liquors. This slave man, he got to have his liquor. Wherever he go, he got to have his liquor. he gave the liquor to the young boys. They get drunk and they kidnap them. That's how it officially started. Oh, I never heard that before. Go there and listen to the stories. There's a break in our history. There's no break in their history. They can go back in their family. Years and years they can go back and come forward. So they would kidnap them. They were kidnapping. Also, there were those who felt that if they sold them into slavery, because they were warring tribes too, and we still are like that. We call them sellouts. We still have sellouts. But they were thinking that if they allowed them to get on the boat and go to and help develop the new world, that they would come back and help them. This is one of the researchers, or one of the scholars who researched this. They felt that they would one day come back and help. So we have a responsibility, and it was shown with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have a responsibility as slaves that were stripped of everything to come back from our natural innate disposition that Allah has put in all of us, come back and reform ourselves, become a new people, reform ourselves, and go back to Africa and help them go back into the earth and bring out the natural resources. That's a vision. A vision that's literally perhaps 100 years old in our community, and we still have to work towards. Coming back into our own life and organize ourselves and go back and help. And when we go back and help, don't carry with us what the colonizers had. Don't go back to enslave them. Don't go back to oppress them. Go back to share in the provisions. So let us work on ourselves and go back. Someone say, well, Imam Slim is teaching back to Africa. Yes. Back to Africa having dual citizenship. We need a plan, generational plan of dual citizenship in our relationship here with the Africans. And the Africans that are leaving there because they can't find, let's say they can't find a good livelihood. They come into America, to Europe for better livelihood. You too have to go back. You have to have plans to go back. Yes. Perhaps we should have a conference. I'm speaking as the progressive chief now. The progressive chief of the B-side. And they are listening. And the progressive chief here of the African American. We're looking down the road. That we should have a conference every other year. We go to Ghana for a conference. Hear me out. And we begin to have these discussions. We have a conference. And there in Ghana, there's a door. It's called the Door of No Return. That's in the dungeon. It's called the Door of No Return. In America, there is a door of return. In Ghana, Senegal, the door of no return. In America, there's a door of return, and that door is in Detroit. We should build a museum of our 100-year history, depicting our 100-year history, returning to our original nature, our original identity. You all know how it was put. And we're going to return. That's our return back to help our African brother. We should have a conference every other year, one in Africa, and then the next year in Detroit. In Africa, the door of no return, and Detroit, the door of return. Every other year, and begin having this relationship and these discussions. Speaking as the progressive chief, looking way down the road. And we start with this decorating, putting things in its place in our sky. And in doing so, it will become a binah, Layla and binah, a protective roof, a protective structure for us and for them. For some of us, that sounds too far-fetched. But we have to have, if we're going to have leadership, the leadership has to have vision. They named me Progressive Chief. In Ghana, they had the discussion. After meeting me, talking with me, having a discussion, and say, no, the way he's structured, the way he thinks, we're going to call him our Progressive Chief because he always thinking down the road. He has vision down the road. And our Imam, W.D. Muhammad, he says to me, teach our people first, then go to Africa. That's his vision. I'm taking on his vision. Yes. We have to build schools here, and we have to build schools there. We have to have schools here. We have to have schools there. We play too much. We got too much play in us, too much entertainment and play in us. Quit building mosques and build schools with musallas in them. The colonizers want us to build mosques, give us liquor beads and prayer rugs, and that's it. And recitation. And some magical way, things are going to happen. Let's continue. Think about it. Through these mausulat, these relative constructions, LD, using LD, the meaning is graded from the origin, the asli al-wujud, the origin of your being, the origin of existence, wujud. This is a term that Ibn Arabi uses quite often. Well, I would say now, the more I study Ibn Arabi, not that he uses, but it's attributed to his logic. This al-wujud is attributed to his logic. This term wujud, existence, being. To the dawamil ma'ash. So you have the origin of being in what we're saying, and we have the continuity, the continuity of livelihood. All attributed to the one addressed Lord. Our Lord and your Lord is the same Lord. Yes. So we want to have summing this up. Relationships. Develop relationships, interfaith relations, and we want to also have relations with our African people. Concluding prohibition, logical outcome of the argument. This is the conclusion. This is the فلا, now you have a fa again. فلا تجعلوا لله أندادا وأنتم تعلمون. So do not set up rivals to Allah while you know. You know. Ta'lemun, you knows. You know scientifically we're talking about knowing. Not familiar. You know you have the science. You are known to investigate. You're known to make your scientific observations and investigations. You're known by that. We're not talking to anyone now. When you say well, entum ta'lamuna, you're not talking to the ummi. When this is being revealed, this is talking to those people who know because they have reached scientific conclusions. Wa entum ta'lamuna. You know what you're doing. The fa here, now, the fa in fala taj'alu, this fa, even though it's atfun, is tafriq, at tafriq. It's the fa of consequence now. One is the fa of sequence. It's just an atfun of sequence. Sequence and what do we say? Sequence and yes, and immediacy. Now, this fa has in it, it's still an atfun. So we could call it atfun tafriq. It's the fa of consequence. So it has a different function. One is just an atfun, showing sequence and immediacy. This, even though sequence and immediacy is in the fa itself, but it's functioning as consequence. There's the consequence, meaning the consequence is right away. We're speaking right away. Right away, marking the prohibition as the necessary conclusion of the preceding reasoning. And all that we have said in 21, 22, we're reaching this fast, introducing a conclusion, meaning the consequence. Therefore, right away, because of that, since he alone creates and provides, it logically follows that associating others with him is forbidden. That's the logic. It logically. All that we have said is logically to accept that our Lord and your Lord is the same Lord. It's the Lord of the earth. It's the Lord of the sky. It's the Lord of the dawn. It's the same. So now, let's look at the pattern. Ibadu Tawheed al-Ibadi bil-Amri. It's saying the affirmation, the ithbat. The affirmation of Tawheed. You know Tawheed. Al-Ibadi, this has an alif lam, this has an alif lam, so this perhaps is describing this. So it's the worshiping Tawheed. worshiping Allah alone through the Amri, through the command. The command is Budu Rabbakum. Everyone, all people, everyone, and nas. Ubudu Rabbakum. Remember, Allah is calling. He's calling upon all of mankind, believers, disbelievers, hypocrites, all deniers, rejectors, all of mankind. He's coming with this command. Iqamatu al-Burhani. Iqamatu, establishing, standing up. Stand up, establish. Burhan, the proof. So it's establishing proof in the discourse. Bil-Khalaki, through creation, via creation, by creation, where taskhiri, and subjugation. Creation and subjugation. Alladhi khalaqa. Salabu ashirki bin nahi. And then we have salbu, the negation of shirk, through or via prohibition. When we say فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا, فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. So the proof we have is the creation and the subjugation and all of the natural resources that's provided in the creation for your livelihood. We don't have to go anywhere else. We're on it, everything is in the earth. Then we have the negation of shirk, polytheism, making anyone, anybody, associating them with having the essence, the transcending essence that Allah has, His essence. So He says, فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا, making rivals, creating these rivals. And then as an indefinite, nakiratan. Siyaqul nahi, in the context of prohibition, conveys universality, al-umuma. It conveys universality when the indefinite is used. So here is a functioning of using the indefinite instead of the definite, indefinite, to convey universality. We know it's indefinite, but now look at the function. Seeing the grammar and now the function. Not any kind or degree, any kind or degree of rival whatsoever. That's the function of the tanween, the indefinite, using the indefinite. Any kind or degree, be it material, visible, empirical, spiritual, mental, any kind or degree of rival. That's why we say Allahu Akbar. Whatever you can think of that you think is so grand, so great, Allah is greater. He has no rival. Allah is greater. Any person, object, system, inner desire, ways of the colonizer, You see perfection in them. You see greatness in them. You see superiority in them. They are no rival. And they have not created a text that can rival the Quran. The Quran is a letter coming from Allah to humanity. This is an address from Allah, getting the attention of all mankind. So this and then that's the function of the indefinite. وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. This is a jumlatun haliyah. This is a conditional phrase. So it's a circumstantial clause. Make it common with the language that 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 you will recognize. We have a condition, halon, in terms of a noun, a word. Here, this phrase is a conditional phrase in relation to phrase that come before. The halon state or condition referring to the pronoun in taj'alu, you. So this pronoun here, antum, is referring to the pronoun that's in taj'alu. Going back to taj'alu, that pronoun, you. And this is the condition. The condition is, let's go back and find the two phrases so you can see the condition here. Go back. Sure. Okay. فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا. This is the verb. فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. That's the verb. And this is the phrase. It's a phrase with a negation, with a prohibition. It's a prohibitional phrase. لَا تَجْعَلُوا. تَجْعَلُوا. And the condition of this phrase is this phrase. وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, meaning that is the condition that you're in, the state you're in when you're making. When you're making a rival, you're in the state of scientific knowledge. You know. This phrase is a conditional phrase. That's the condition of this phrase. This is what the scholars are saying. This is research from the scholars. So it's a jumlatun haliyah. Like I've been saying, read the phrases, then they're connecting grammatically. The phrases are connecting grammatically. So you know, you have scientific, it's ilmul ma'ani, and ilmul ma'ani now. This indicates a tawbiha, a reproach, a shadida, a strong reproach that committing shirk and dadan is committing shirk. When you set up a rival, that's committing shirk. In the face of clear awareness, scientific awareness of his creation, and favors is particularly blameworthy. You scientifically go into the earth and the sky. You see provisions coming from the sky and the earth. and you know you didn't create the sky, you didn't create the earth. If you ask them, well, who created the earth? They will say, Allah. Who created the sky? They will say, Allah. And they know, scientifically, they know. These are discoveries. Another form of wujud. Discoveries that's being made. It was there all the time. We just have the discoveries. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to Allah. And you know that. Yet you set yourself up as the Lord because you have made these discoveries. And those in their inferiority complex look to you as the Lord because you have made these discoveries. Allah has favored you. And in favoring you, you think you're special and you don't share the favors. You oppress with the favors, thinking that Allah is not aware. This simultaneously, Yuqarriru establishes, firms establishes, lahum for them, al-ilma, the science, the knowledge, where yarfa'u and raises in them the moral resolve, himmatahum, their moral resolve, making the reproach both dignifying and admonishing. Thus, the prohibition is not merely legal, it is portrayed as a violation of what the addressees themselves perceive and know. You're in complete violation. In conclusion now, there's a little more to go. I'll go through this. It's a summary. The arrangement follows a clear mentikun ma'aniyun, a rhetorical logic. A rhetorical logic or a semantic articulation. Ya ayyuhan nasu, in review, it's a universal call of attention. Ya ayyuhan nasu. And tanbihan, with tanbihan. That one with tanbih and ta'zim. A strong alert. Very strong alert. U'budu rabbakum amrun jawhariyun. This is a command, a core directive. Command to worship. الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم is the rationale behind ta'lilun bil khalqi, a rationale behind a universal creation of both man and the external world. Then la'allakum tattaqun, bayanun al-gayati. So this is the clarity of the purpose in terms of, or the moral purpose. Clarity or statement of moral purpose. Clarifying statement of moral purpose. Tattaqun. This is where we get our moral direction from. From what we're studying now as part of our direction. El arada firashan, The earth as a bed, and the sky as a canopy, a roof, and water, and themarat, and fruits and provisions. All of this is tafsirul ni'am. It's the detailing of all the favors, el-kawniyah, all of the universal cosmic, we could say, favors. The earth as a bed, the sky, water, fruits, all provisions materially and spiritually. All of this, each line supporting, each one supporting the previous one, showing the logic, a detailed logic. Then we have فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا لِلَّهِ إِلَّهِ أَنْدَادًا, meaning التجيه النتيجة العملية بالتفريق. So it's a practical amaliya, a practical, useful, workable conclusion. بالتفريق, by consequence, through consequence. A workable conclusion. After all that has been said, then la taj'alu lillahi, do not make to Allah, exclusively to Allah, because we're putting the prepositional phrase before the object. Normally it would be فَلَا تَجْعَلُوا أَنْدَادًا لِلَّهِ, but do not make, now we want to put the emphasis here, to Allah and Allah only, exclusively a rival. That's a practical conclusion. Then we have the closure. وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, this is closure. خَاتِمَةٌ, that's the completion, the closure. بِتَقْرِيرٍ el-ma'rifi, that's the intellectual. El-ma'rifi, intellectual admonishment. That's the closing, with an intellectual admonishment. This demonstrates a progression from general to specific to verdict. From general, ijmal, to the specific, at tafsili, then to the hukmi, to the judgment. And attention to situational appropriateness. Awakening a universal audience and nas, furnishing them with manifest signs from within and without, then assigning accountability based on clarified knowledge. From this perspective, Ilmul Ma'ani, verses 21 and 22, exemplify how Quranic discourse thematically and structurally compels intellect, nature, and wijdani, and spiritual feelings, they'll say, wijdani, or existence, ontological and material physical existence toward Tawheed al-Ibadah, the oneness of worship, and rejection of any niddan, rival or partner. Now let's take a look at the comment we'll make. This verse of the Quran connect the servant with the Creator. It should be verses. Let's change this to verses. These verses. Of the Quran connect the servant with the Creator. God is involved of everything. Rabba. The Khalik, Rabba, Creator, evolved everything. Guiding us from the beginning to our full potential. This is the Rabba. Guiding us from the beginning, our essential, our essence, our origin. At first, a child might think their parents are their guardians, are their lords, their guardians, because they depend on them for everything. As we grow and learn, we realize there's something greater than our parents. We owe our gratitude to it for our physical and spiritual blessings that we receive. Through that something that's greater. You may start thinking that these people are superiority, white superiority we talk about. We use that term embedded in our own conscious mind because you think like a child because your provisions, all of your provisions is coming from that group. All of your provisions, though you are laying right in the bed, but you see your provisions coming from somewhere else. And you end up studying them up as Bibles to Allah. But when you wake up, you come this away that Allah is calling upon all of mankind, this awakening. And we to realize there's something greater. And we have been given something by that same entity. We took it on earth and bring out the beliefs that's in earth that's there for us as well. All have a share. For the physical and spiritual blessings we receive. We come to that realization. Worship is a way to show gratitude for these blessings. It happens when we receive something good. Divine revelations, like heavenly water, nourish our hearts. They bring us certainty, spiritual growth, and actions like patience, gratitude, and trust. Then enriches our lives like rain enriches plant life, creating a vibrant culture. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. That completes our presentation for today. Assalamu alaikum wa Ramadan wa